Nobody 2. So I really enjoyed the first Nobody film. It came out a couple years ago. I actually thought Bob Odenkirk was great. It was nice to see him in like an action role for once. And I really enjoyed the style, the tone, the visual flair that the original Nobody had. So I really enjoyed the first film. I think I gave it like a B or a B- originally. Like, it's not an award-winning action movie or anything like that, but it's a really fun movie. But I don't think I was necessarily excited for a sequel. So when they announced Nobody 2 was being made and it was coming out, I wasn't really that excited about it. But I knew because of the first one, I had to go check out this one. So what did I think of Nobody 2? Well, it's a sequel film. It definitely goes bigger and it goes more action scenes and more deaths in this film than the original. But bigger doesn't always mean better, and oftentimes it actually means worse. And this is a great example of that. I thought the first film, Nobody, had some really inventive fight scenes, some cool camera angles, some great cinematography for those scenes, and some like legit dark humor moments that had me giggling out loud. This movie kind of exchanges all that in for a pure comedy action movie. And I put comedy in there first because this movie is definitely just going for laughs. It is not a very in-depth film. It's a simple story, but it doesn't really explore anything new or exciting. Where the first one I felt was kind of, it's an action movie, but it's an original sort of idea. This felt very recycled, like we've seen this kind of before.
Been there, done that.
And this movie didn't seem like it was made with the same level of care and passion and desire as the first one was. It's a different director. There weren't really many surprises in this movie, where the first one kept surprising me, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't think the action in this movie was particularly amazing. Like, it was fine. It was fun. It's entertaining. If you are looking for that sort of dumbed down, you don't have to really think about anything, and it's just sort of like violence happening on screen, you might enjoy this movie. But for me, I thought the action was kind of just subpar. It was not better than the original. And that brings me to the second point, where I found this movie very forgetful. And I've kind of forgotten a lot about what happens in the movie. Like, there's nothing really too memorable about the film. While, yes, Bob Odenkirk and Connie Nielsen and the RZA and Christopher Lloyd, they all do great jobs in this movie. There's one actor in this film that was completely miscasted, and I think it's the way they wrote her character, but Sharon Stone in this movie is ridiculous, like not in a good way either. Again, that might be because of the writing, but yeah, I thought she was just over the top, and like for the sake of being over the top, like there was no rhyme or reason for her to be the way that she was in this film. What they should have done with this movie is, if you have ever seen the movie Rebel Ridge, came out this past year on Netflix, and it's about this guy going up against the sheriff's department or the cops of this like small town. And that is a really cool kind of thriller film. And I wish they would have done that with this movie. Like Colin Hanks, who plays this like dirty sheriff in this town, if he and his like sheriff department were the actual like bad guys in this movie, I might have been able to get a little bit more on board. But no, you got this like, mustache twirling sort of crazy woman. And I hate to use that phrase, but it's true. She is crazy in this movie. And there's no motivation behind it. It doesn't click, and you need a good villain in order for like a movie to really stick its landing, or for an action movie like this to really make an impression, and this movie just didn't do that.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That being said, there is an action sequence in this movie near the end of the film that takes place at, like a carnival, at like a fair with rides and stuff like that and games, and I actually really liked that location. So like, again, there are aspects of this movie that I really did enjoy, probably 70-75%, that just didn't quite cut it like the original did. I think this is just an example of like a sequel no one wanted and no one really needed, and I'm all about like studios making money, that's fine, but put out the quality of work along with it. And this movie, because they were forcing the humor, they were like really trying to shove it down the audience throats. I didn't think the jokes work. I didn't think the comedy really hit with this film. In fact, I found it lackluster at times. I felt that, like, in pursuit of that comedic tone, they actually ruined a lot of the comedy, if that makes any sense. So while I think, like, the premise of this movie is good and the actors are great in this film, mostly, overall this is a very forgetful movie. It's a sequel that I don't think anyone really was looking forward to or really wanted. If you're looking for, like, a brainless action movie just to kind of put on in the background and have it on the screen, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting this movie on. I just don't know if it's like a really strong recommend. I don't even know if I'd necessarily go see it in theaters, even though I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Nobody 2 a C+. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, comment down below, what did you think of Nobody 2? Were you a fan of the original film? Did you think this one was just as good or even better? Or not good at all? What's your favorite action movie? Come back and check out some other movie reviews such as Weapons, The Bad Guys 2, and The Fantastic Four: First Steps. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next film.